Destroy him, my robot. Destroy him, my robot.
Let's begin. Happy Thursday, everybody. Praise be the Spiral. Hope you're all doing well. I think I'm prepared. Who cares? We'll find out. We'll find out if I am or not. I'm not going to get into that argument. Sorry, I was just reading my Discord. About the RGCD competition. I think 2.5 years is too long to not put a few messages on the website. Yeah, I understand people have personal problems. That's absolutely fine. But if they can still release several games in that time, wow, that's loud. Was that loud for everybody else? Because that was really loud for me. Thank you very much for the resub, Doctor. Thank you for the host, Proud7, and thank you for the host, Andy, as well. Yeah, it was very loud, I thought so. Let me give him a thumbs up. I don't want Jazz Cat to. I like Jazz Cat, so. Definitely not going to miss them alerts. Oh, damn. That hurts. Thank you, Skunk Monkey, for the resub. Appreciate it as ever. Let me sort this code size out. So I'm drinking tonight Black Cherry Dark Salsa. The reason I'm drinking this is because we bought some and they're not nice. No one wants to drink them, so I'm drinking them because they're not terrible, but music a touch loud. Why is everything so loud all of a sudden? I wonder. Is that better? Hopefully it is. I look really small compared to the background now. Well, that's fine. It's probably better that I'm small. You can see more of the background. You don't really need to see me. I mean, really. Should put me down here somewhere, but no, we'll go with that position there. There we go. I'm kind of small. Oh, all right. I'll make myself a bit bigger for you. There you go. Sorry. I'm pretty sure you don't just stare at me in the corner. I hope you don't. Anyway, that would freak me out a little bit, knowing that you all just log on to stare at me in the corner. God, my t-shirt looks horrible. It's my Thalamus t-shirt. It's very, very kind of worn and wrinkly now. Yeah, so I'm drinking these. They're not terrible, but they're not well. Holy shit! Why is that so loud? It's like super loud in my ear. Thank you for the bit, Samok. Appreciate it. Cheers. It says great taste from natural flavors. I'm not convinced. Okay, right. Do I have anything else to add? No, not really. Why is that so loud? What the hell? Thank you for the bits as well, Nicomo. Is that still loud for you guys, or is it just me that it's really loud for? I think I've got my kind of monitoring set up wrong, and so now everything, all the alerts are like super loud in my ear. That's fine. It means I won't miss any, I guess. Yeah, it is Tuesday settings. It's because I was messing around with the audio on Tuesday. I'm absolutely sure of that. I mean, it's fine for you guys, but for me, it's like it's deafening whenever those alerts go off. So if you see me kind of jump and wince, that's what's going on when that happens. Damn you, Sean. Yeah, it's all Sean's fault. I've been trying to set up Amiga Live, actually. I don't know if anybody's can help me do that, because for some reason when I load it up, there's no games at all. I've been trying to set it up so I can play Bubble Bobble with Sean next week, but I can't seem to get it to display games for some reason. So, because apparently you just connect to a server and it should list the games, but no matter what I do, I'm not seeing any games. I don't know if I've got like I might have some firewall setting. Yeah, that's what I thought, but it's not working. Can't you save the settings as a profile? I'm not sure, actually. Maybe. It's really, really loud. Thanks, Doctor, for the bits. Appreciate it. Cheers. Apparently this is vegan. I mean, I would hope so. It's just sparkling water, alcohol, and black cherry, so... I mean, I'm not sure how you can make it non-vegan. Oh my god, wow. Mr. Tuesday stream is at an undisclosed location. Is it in your? Is it one of the undisclosed locations in your in your series, image series? Thank you, Five Sprites, for the bits. Appreciate it as ever. And welcome along. How you doing? Yeah, I was thinking it might download the games list from the server, but for some reason it's not. Oh my god! Ow! I'm going to hang that over my ear while this plays out. Thank you very much for the gift subs to Zupadan, to Nets, to Moose Rimuski. I like that name, that's cool. To Anthony Roberts, and to Programmer Frank. Programmer Frank's a good name, I like that. And thank you for the bits as well, Amok. Oh my god, oh, it's a hype train, that explains it. You're all after your hype emotes. Yeah, I'm going to try and figure out what that is, because that is really deafening. I mean, I don't see why it would be louder in my ear than... See alerts. Right, that might be alright now. No, it's the same. Never mind. Don't believe the hype. Thank you very much, SP, for the bits. I want to take my time, and this is disgusting, so... It's not disgusting. Disgusting's the wrong word. It's just not... It's not what you think. Why is Slay the Spy so bloody addicting? I'm sure. It's a very good game, I must admit. Thank you, Amok, as well, for the bits. Oh my god, you're all on a crazy one tonight. It's all very much appreciated. Thank you very much. You can change. Yeah, I know. I've done all of that. The problem is it's the monitoring. So the individual channels are low, which is why you can hear them at the right volume. But for some reason, the alerts are like stupidly loud in my ear. Like they're not even remotely changing volume. I have no idea why. Just got Darkest Dungeon on. Darkest Dungeon's a great game. I really like that. It's one of those games I prefer to play on the Switch, just because it's I don't know, it's really well suited to the Switch, I think. Oh, no, I didn't hear that. That's interesting. I didn't hear the listen. What? I have no idea why that's working. But yeah, thank you for trying to deafen me there as well. Thank you very much, Doxter, for the bits as well. Oh my god, you're all mental. You're all absolutely mental. Thank you, Amok, as well, for the bits. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, just slow down though, guys. It's horrible, this stuff. Cheers. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to add today. Oh, I was supposed to get my Pixel phone today. I thought it was coming on Monday, and then I realised that it was the review embargo that was lifted on Monday, and some site had falsely listed it as the release date. Thank you, Proud7, for the bits. Appreciate it. So the release date was actually today. And I got the message from DPD to say they were going to deliver it today. So I was all really excited. I was waiting for it to come. I saw the van turn up, and I sat here waiting for the bell to ring, and it didn't ring. I looked, and the DPD van had gone, and then I looked at my messages, and they said they'd tried to deliver and couldn't deliver. And when I looked at the DPD delivery address, they'd forgot to put a flat number on it. So they just had the building address, but no flat number. So I had to phone them up and get them to change the delivery address. So hopefully it will come tomorrow, but I'm not banking on it. Oh my god, I've really got to figure. Maybe if I switch ears, maybe the other ear is less loud. Thank you very much, Doxter, for the gifts to Spooky Coder, to Styx Media, CPU Jam, Car42, and Brandon PDX2DC, or Todd C. Oh, Jesus. It's painful to watch someone drink something like... Ooh, pardon me. I say it's not completely horrible. It's just not as pleasant as you would expect something called black cherry to be. It doesn't have very much black cherry sound in there, flavour in there. See, I'm thinking sound all the time now. Ooh, a bit of a Cyberdyne Warrior. Are you guys in some competition or something? What's going on? Thank you, I'm up for the bits as well. Appreciate it. Right, I think we should get this stream started before you all go bankrupt. Oh, quick reminder before we start: the SID competition ends on Saturday. If you are going to enter, I'd appreciate if you could send it to me as early as possible. Even if you think you might change it at the last minute, I can drop it into my my test program and just make sure that everything's running, because I've got a little test program that will launch them all from a cart. Oh, I can hear that. We love to give it as a purpose. Thank you very much, Duxter. Yes, it does have a purpose. It all goes towards the prizes. It all goes towards the stream. So it's all for a good cause. The cause of the charity of chat. So, I was going to say, yeah. If you can get the tunes to me as early as possible, it would be great. It's not a huge deal if you give them to me at 9:30. It just means I might have to spend a few minutes before the stream kind of setting them all up. But we've got 3 entries now. I hope there's going to be more, because it kind of plays into what we're going to do for the November challenge. I'm not sure. I was going to do an art challenge, but if we don't get many entries to this, I may not do an art challenge. I may do something different. But it's there. It's running from cart now, so I've got it running from cart, and when I press space, it goes on to the next one. I've worked out the voting system as well, so I did some tests today with the. I did some tests with the voting systems. That's all good. Oh, and the last thing I'm going to mention before we crack on with this is on Saturday, it won't be the normal Mega 65. Well, it will be Mega 65, but it won't be the kart racer. We'll be looking at Luna. No, it's just 2 SID steps, just 2. Yeah, we'll be converting Luna. So I'm not sure if we're going to manage to get everything done in one stream. I think we'll get it up and running. But we'll probably just need to do a graphics overhaul for it. music I'm going to leave the same. Most of the code I'm going to leave the same. Just going to change the way that the view works so that it can use full color character mode graphics. But other than that, it's going to pretty much stay the same. And maybe change the sprites to 16 color sprites. So they'll be like 5 pixels narrower than the originals, but with the ability to use more colors as well, which should be good. Thank you for the emote, guys, as well. I forgot hyper yawn, whatever that is. Oh, it's a yawning dog. Nice. Okay, cool. Right. So when we left off last time, let me start the races for you all and add points as well. Why did you use a different data set for the walls? Was it booze? In Luma? No, it was the way to reduce the level data down, so you could represent the entire screen's walls with just 8 bytes or 10 bytes, I think it was. Yeah, 10 bytes because it's 10 by 8, and then you could represent each of the things that weren't walls and weren't blank space with 2 bytes, I think. Yeah, 2 bytes. One for the XY coordinates and one for the item number as well. So I tried a few different methods to kind of reduce it down, and that seemed to be the best way to reduce down, especially the smaller levels or the levels with a few kind of objects in the middle. They went really, really small. So, it's the next game tuner. No, the next game needs to be Puma or Lump. When we get around to it, anyway. But why did I do it like that? No, I did it when I did it before the stream when I was working out the level data for the editor. So tuner isn't bad, yeah, but unfortunately we'd have to make another game first called like Tuner, so we could go to tuner after that. I like the idea of changing one letter every time just to confuse people. Okay, right. Let's add points to you all. Start the races, and we'll crack on with this. So we got the basic. Where's the race? There it is. We got the basic Robotron stuff working on the last stream. So we've got the stuff moving around. We've got the stuff exploding. We aren't adding any points yet. That's something I'm probably going to leave till the end. We'll go through. We'll go through all the screens in the video, in the original kind of video, and look at what points they award, and just go through like that. Maybe, I mean, we could go back and do it before we do that. I don't know, but I'm not too fussed about the points awards at the moment. We do need a spawn mechanism for them, because at the moment they just appear with that many on the screen, and then there's no counter to say that the screen's been finished. So we need to work out a little kind of Robotron screen spawn mechanic, if you like, spawn and kind of completion mechanic. And we haven't done anything from the other Robotron screens, but we'll do them when we get to them. This screen has quite simple Robotron stuff. The one thing that was wrong, and we'll fix that first today because we were just in the middle of doing this. I moved some stuff around to make the explosions and diamonds and stuff work a little bit better for me. Mark on my screen, what is that? And in doing so, I actually broke the 100 pickups. So these pickups up here, that these barrels drop, you can no longer pick up. So I need to fix those, and it's because I tried to be clever and save a bit of kind of a few cycles in one of the routines. I've got hiccups. See, this is the thing with this stuff. It's just gassy, and that's it. It's kind of repeating on me, giving me the hiccups and stuff. Oh, hey, Thalamus. I always tell Thalamus because I recognise his kind of choice in Sid music. It's kind of funny. Okay. So in. God, where was it though? Now was it in here? I can't even remember where it was. Power-ups, no. Items, I think it might have been this one. So there was a really, really weird method we had for picking stuff up. Draw items, add item, pick up item. And it's not here. I can't remember where it was now. I just remember it being really weird, because what I was doing is, because of the location in the character set, I was doing some sneaky and in an orin to get a range of values, and I can't remember where the hell I did that now. Did I write to do? I bet I didn't. No, I do have a few to dos in there though. It's really warm in here as well. The LA Moose. That's that LA Moose. That's not a bad name. I like that. The LA Moose. That's kind of funny. Oh my god, where did I put this? Where on earth did I put this? I was looking at it on the last stream and I do not remember at all where it is. Right, let me just load up a few windows, so a few columns. I would have thought it would have been in here, but apparently it's not. So what there was a collision router, and when you picked something up, when you hit something, you know, the player stuff in here as well. When you hit something, it does a little check on the number that you've picked up, on the character number that you've hit, and it did some kind of crazy filtering of the number using some logic. Here we go. Here it is. Yeah, here we go. This is the weird thing, right? So what it was doing, it was doing an and then it was doing a comparison to see if it fit within a certain value. But now what we need to do is we need to check that it's within. Actually, is it within that range? I need to this thing now and have a look. Oh, what have I just done? I've loaded something completely different up there. That. Alright. So I think it's this one. No, it's not that one, is it? It's that one. So what I did is I moved the 100 away from the 2 stars. So previously it was E9, EA, and EB, and for some reason it was detecting E9 to EF. I don't know why it was detecting E9 to EF, because these are bullets. Pretty sure they're bullets. Oh yeah, so yeah, it was checking. Yeah, so it was checking all of these to see if it collided with one of these. So if it was a bullet, 47 IE bullet, so I can pick up. Kill play. Ah, right. It's because these are the bullets that the mines throw out, when the spike mines, when they go off. So, why is that there? It shouldn't be there, but oh, it's because I put them in when I was copying things around. But it's fine. It would have been deleted anyway. But now it's actually needs to check from EA up to EF as well as E8. So it needs E8 and then EA to EF. So previously this was working really well for kind of picking out these values, but it's not going to work for this this thing now at all. So what we need to do is find a way to reduce it down to these, what looks like 3 values here. Check if 0 IE not an item. So if it's not an item, it comes down to here. If it is an item, it checks if it's a bullet, and if it's a bullet, it goes to here. Otherwise, it does this. So we can either fix. What Why did we do? I can't remember why I did that now. There was a reason to do with the animations, and I'm not entirely sure what it was. But we know what we need to do here anyway. So what we can do is, if we look at EA and E onwards, right? So this is E here. So if I was to AND it with this value here, so if I AND it with that, no, actually, I kind of need to AND it with that value, and if it's okay, so check up a nibble. Okay, so now we compare that to. So now if it's not EX, we skip. Otherwise, we come to here, at which point we start comparing the lower values. So if it's any of these bits down here are set on their own, check if 0. Okay, so if any of the if this comparison equals 0, which it would do with this, so that's not good anymore. So so we need to rearrange this a little bit. Okay, so we're looking for one of those values there. So if the value is 0 to 7 or 9, then it's not an item. So if we compare it to that, the only value it can be here with them. Okay, yeah, so if it's equal to 0, then we skip. If it's equal to 8, we also skip, because it's also not. So a little bit annoying that we can't. Oh no, because it's doing a bit, isn't it? We still need to do the AND here, I think. Yeah, that's fine though. Okay. So we get the lower nibble. If it's less than 8, then we skip as well. All right. Otherwise, we can go on to this one. And at this point, this will still work. So this is now comparing if it's against a bullet, which is 4 onwards. So that is the last 4 here. So we've got EA, EB, and then bullets at EC onwards, which means the only one here that would trigger this would be bullets. So yes, that's fine. Otherwise, we AND with these two values and we get pick up item. Okay, so this is where it's a little bit different. So it's expecting this to be 1, 2, or 3, but it's actually going to return 0 or 2. So if it's items, pick up item, and it's 0, then it's actually 1. I really have kind of messed this up by doing that. It's a little bit annoying. Just trying to think of the easiest way to do this. Okay, if I AND it with these two values, I'm going to get 0 or 2. But then if I shift it to the right, which will half it, here the carry bit, set the carry bit, and then roll it to the left, that should give me 1 or 2 instead of 0 or 2 in 6 cycles. Yeah, that'll do, I think. All right, let's try that. That's kind of quite the change in there. So let's see how it goes. Let's close the other screen down. So what I'm hoping to see here is that we can still pick up stars. We can still pick up. I always get blown up by those. We can additionally pick those 100s up. So we can pick the stars up. That's good. We can additionally pick these up. We still get destroyed by the mines, which we did. We got destroyed by the spike mine. So far, so good. And that when we kill these Robotron things in here, that these also drop stars that can be picked up. Which they can. Awesome. Okay, cool. That was an interesting solution to that. So actually, what did I add there? This stayed roughly the same. Well, this stayed exactly the same in terms of performance. This changed a little bit. So this actually had a comparison added to it. 2 comparisons and a branch added to it. This branch was already there. So not ideal. That's 2, 6, 7 cycles max there added, and 6 extra cycles added here as well, to set that value properly from this. Not the worst thing in the world. 13 cycles, 14 cycles. It's not a huge deal, and because this is only going to happen when you move over something as well to pick it up, and we have a fast exit from it here as well, so if you can't pick it up, it will exit in the same amount of time that it did before. So it's only if you can pick something up that it takes an extra 14 cycles than it did before. But the upshot of that means that we have a Robotron screen that actually works probably, because I think we were having some issues with the animations not animating properly, whereas now they will. What's your worst nightmare? Oh yeah, Aquafin joke marathon. It's terrible stuff. Yeah, so what Sean was complaining about before about Slay the Spire is because I was playing Slay the Spire a lot recently, and I convinced Sean to start playing it, and now he's hooked on it. It's a surprisingly addictive card game that actually would translate really well to the Mega 65, thinking about it. It wouldn't be difficult to do. I mean, all the online stuff would be difficult to do, but the actual, I mean, you can play it quite a lot without ever bothering with the online stuff. So, and the online stuff is just like daily challenges, it's not a PvP or anything. Healing Spree I thought was good. Will you play it again on stream? I think we may go back to some games as well. I mean, at first I just want to kind of go through a few games on stream, but we'll probably go back to some of these games, revisit them again. I think it's probably fair to, especially with games like Healing Spree, which have just come out from a small development studio, is to give them a couple of months to kind of iron things out and then revisit it again, maybe in a few months' time, just to see how they've progressed and see if they have kind of solved the issues. You could play 2 games for 2 hours each. Yeah, I think you kind of need the 4 hours though, to be honest. I do want to play Bubble Bobble next though with Sean, and I'm kind of hoping that I can get Amiga Live set up properly. Is it for some reason it just wasn't getting those the game list from the server? I don't know why that is, so I will have another go at that before Tuesday. But failing that, if we don't do that, then we'll either play Warhammer Vermintide 2, because it's got Twitch integration, which means you guys can send monsters and health packs and stuff at us. Or there's another card game that I've been looking at, which is a co-op card game called, and I've forgotten the name of it now because I closed my window down. Where is it? I sent it to Sean. Is it Across the Obelisk? That's the one. Which is it's about 6 months old. It's another card-based kind of roguelike, a bit like Slay the Spire, but it looks very interesting. I want to give it a try. So, Acmafin joke marathon won the poll. Of course it did. Who would want that? Okay, so before we continue any further with the Robotron screen, I think what we need to do is we need to add death from the Robotrons, the Robotron entities, because at the moment we have no collision check against those. So I think what we need to do, we need to add a system in where we've already got a flag to say that we're in the Robotron screen, and if I bring up the 0 page, we should be able to find that somewhere. I've got a bit of a headache going on now. I'm just wondering if that stuff is what's giving me the headache there. Is a Robotron screen. So we have got a little byte in 0 page that we can use for this. So what I'm going to do is check in the... Well, no, we'll do it in the player screen, I think. So what we'll do is we'll come into wherever we do the collision check. So we check the mace collision. It's not that one. Oh, we need to do that as well. We need to make sure that the mace can collide with them. Actually, let's do that first. I think that's probably the easy one to do. So at the moment, this is just checking against sprite to sprite. But it also needs to check against... Oh no, it does check against characters as well. Oh, it's checking various offsets. Okay, so... Jump, collide. Maces hit something. Alright. So let me just put a little order increment in here, and let's see if this triggers as we... So 1009. Alright, so if I should use the breakpoint in here to mark lines that I'm working on, because then they'll show up in the... Oh, can't, apparently. Oh, alright, fair enough. I thought I could shift click or something in here. Apparently I can't. Alright. Okay, fine. I just don't remember. It's like line 1000 and turn the mace on in here. Because what I want to see is does this routine already pick up that we've hit? And if it does, then all we really need to do is add a little check in here to say, are we in the Robotron screen? If so, go and perform some collision checks against the Robotron stuff. And in fact, all that would be doing is check the character is in the Robotron list. If it is in the Robotron list, remove it from the screen. It should be fairly simple to do, and we should only need one routine in the Robotron code to do that. Let me open the Robotron code while we're at it as well. There we go. So let's give that a quick try now. Let's see if this is going to work. So hopefully we should see the border flash at this point. Everything's bright or loud today. I have no idea why, but it's really affecting me today. Okay, so you can see it going crazy when I hit the scenery here as well, so it's obviously detecting them. So in theory it should, every time I hit something in here, it should flash. And it definitely is, and it's not hitting the particles here, I don't think. This is definitely hitting them. Okay, so that's good. So that means what we can do here, we know we've hit something. Y is the point that we've hit at. The accumulator, actually at this point, oh, the accumulator does contain it at this point. Okay. So what are we expecting to do here? Move item non-bullet. Okay, so we've definitely hit something here. Let's do a little check here. So I'm just trying to work out exactly what it's doing here. Okay, so it's grabbing screen points 0 and 1, and I'm guessing. Okay. Not sure what this is doing. Alright. So this is taking our screen, our Y, adding it to the screen point. So this is actually working out the offset from the collision up here and using that to work out where on the screen we are. So at the end of this, we should have screen point, which points to the character, which points to the actual address on the screen. So let's do that here then. So let's do a check at this point. Let's just move this down and do it here, because now I want to check if we get to this point. I think we probably do, because looking at this, the only thing we're checking against is if... no, actually, I think this is probably right. Let's try this out. So hopefully this should flash again. If that flashes, then we can jump into it from there. So a series of 3.6 million images. Yeah, just add Google Images to it. Okay, so no. See, now it's not detecting that we're hitting these. So it detects if we hit actual objects, but now it's not detecting if we hit the scenery. So there needs to be another check before there. So something in here is checking that value, and I think it might be this bit here. So what is this doing? This is grabbing the value at a collision point and handing it with F0. So what's that going to give us? That's going to give us everything... No, that should, in theory, still get to that. So is something else exiting here? Screen point... Okay, let's just put the increment in here. I think we might need to do this point here. We might need to do the check. Just trying to find the best place to insert this now. Ow! Oh, ow, ow. Thank you very much, Beldregus, for the follow. Apologies for the adverse reaction, but for some reason my alerts are stupidly loud in my ear tonight. So cheers. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. 16 destroyable characters. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out why that might be, because I mean, certainly if I sit in the middle here. Okay, it does. Oh, it does against the scenery. Look. Oh, because I've moved the thing now, haven't I? Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's definitely hitting them there. So yeah, it's this bit here is getting rid of them. And F0, so if we were to look at the character set here, so if it's equal, then it go to exit. So if the result of this is 0, then go to exit, which means only these characters would get ignored, which means anything up here should be fine, but it could be that our characters have appeared in this location here as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to... Yeah, is that right? Yeah, anything in here, anything beyond that would detect as collision. I think. Yeah, it would do, wouldn't it? All right, yeah, let's go ahead and put a routine in here, because if you look at this, we're loading Y and we're loading the accumulator, so we're perfectly safe to do whatever we want in this other routine in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to load, well, I forgot what it's called now. Is a Robotron screen, and it's not in a, no, it's not in a thing. So we can just say load that, and if it's equal to 0, we skip ahead to here. Otherwise, we're going to jump to subroutine Robotron. I think that might be enough. Let's I can't remember what I've done in here though now. Yeah, it looks fine. Alright, cool. So So what we're going to do here is we're going to add in a little bit of... Actually, how much room are we using there? Because we probably need a bit more. But as I say, we can most likely extend this. Oh, actually, we're all right. It's not too bad. Yeah, we're probably all right. Okay, so we know this is how we find the collision point. So let's just go ahead and stick that in there. And then what do we need to do? We need to test it against any of these values in this list here. So there's actually 9 values that we need to test against. So we need a fast way to check those values against these 9 values here. So the easiest way is just going to be a normal loop or unrolling a loop. But I think it's probably going to be easier to just do a simple loop. It's only going to happen on Robotron screen. It's only going to happen if you hit something that is not a wall. So in theory, it shouldn't be too bad. So we've already loaded the accumulator with the values. So let's load the Y accumulator, the Y register with 8, and we'll go backwards through this loop like so. And if at any point we've hit something, we're going to go here like that. And otherwise, we're going to exit. No, because this is just going to be checking collision against the collision point. So the mace collision returns this value, but we're going to be able to use this to do collision against the player as well. As long as we set these values correct, we should be able to check this against the player as well. There may be like a little thing where we make 2 versions of the header for this, and one of them loads a collision point, one of them loads a player point, but the actual check itself will be the same. So what do we need to do? We need to compare against chars, y, and if that is equal, we jump to hit. And then we'll do our border increment here and RTS. So let's just try that out. Let me go and turn off the increment elsewhere if we have that, which I don't think we do now. Yeah, okay. So while yes, we are checking collision against the mace here, we're actually checking a collision as a kind of generic thing here rather than just the mace. It's the check mace collision which triggers this particular thing, but then it just calls a Robotron check collision. That didn't load for some reason. What did I do wrong? Oh, we don't have that call shift value. Okay. Where is that coming from? Ah, because that's here. That's... Why is that? Why is it labelled up the... Oh, 50... Right, I think what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go and check this destroyable class. Remove item non-bullet, okay. Remove item non-bullet. Load Y is already... Okay, so load Y loads back there. Okay, so in that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little change here. And I'm going to do this instead. So as long as we return this same value in the accumulator that we entered this from, this will work the same. So I need to put a little note in here to say that. which in this case it would be. And actually that makes this routine a little bit better because we don't have to worry about grabbing the value. We just send the value in into here. Okay. Okay, let's give that a try. Hey, my command, welcome. It is awful, that stuff. Oh. The chars, that should be working. Why is that not working? Is it not called chars? It is called chars. Have I accidentally done it outside of the... Yes, I have accidentally done it outside of that. Oh, still not working. What's going on? Oh, so that should be minus. There we go. Not having a good day with the visuals. I'm not spotting anything. It's a lot easier to get through this bit with the mace, that's for sure. Okay, so we should only see a flash now when we hit a Robotron char, which means only in this screen and only when we hit these, and we're not seeing a flash, so that's not good. So in that case, what I need to do, I need to do probably a breakpoint and see what values we're actually getting out here, because I'm not sure these are correct. So let's put a breakpoint in, see what we're actually getting. The fireworks going off outside. They know it's not firework, right? Glasses, yeah, I do need glasses, but I compensate by just getting slightly bigger screens every year, slightly bigger monitors every year. But I think I am getting to the point where my eyesight's probably starting to get into the kind of realm of needing glasses. So okay, it's going to keep doing this because it's hitting the warning sign here. So I just need to get past that for a second. Come on. No, it's not actually. Look, the accumulator says 0 here. So all it's doing is every time... Oh, no, it is. Every time it hits something. Oh, is it returning... Maybe it's returning a collision mask of some kind. Shit, I think it's a collision mask. Okay, in that case we need to take a look at this. Well, there's this screen point. I'm guessing that's in 0 page. It is. Okay, so screen point is in 0 page. So we can use that to grab the value. We added the Y to it already, so we don't actually need... we don't actually need to do this the same way. So I think if I just do this first, then I don't have to return the value because the values are already here. So okay, and instead in here what I'll do is I'll do load This is a problem with writing systems like this and then not touching them for ages and then coming back and trying to add stuff on. Giving to old age, yeah. The thing is it's definitely short sight or long. I don't know which one it is that needs a reading glasses, but because from a distance I can read stuff relatively okay, but stuff up front, right up front of me, kind of goes a bit blurry, and I struggle with that a little bit. Long-sighted, yeah. Right, let's give this a go. Right, there we go. Now it's showing that we're hitting them. So you can see if I just stand in the middle here, nothing. If I hit the sides here, nothing. But if I go to these, it shows that I'm hitting them. Okay, so that's good. That means that we are successfully reaching this point. So now to remove the items, we need to... Where is it? This one. Check versus bullet. Okay. We're past the char number in A, and that contains the bullet index number. So this is actually going through every single one of the... Actually, let's do that down here as well. Let's match that. Oh, actually, I think maybe we can... Let's have a think about this. We might be able to separate this out into a function that we can repeat. So, here's the check that we're doing. Where is it? Here. So we check against all the things and then we exit. And it just checks against one bullet here. Pass the char number in A and X contains the bullet index number. Okay, so... Find a Robotron Data. Now convert the XY... Okay, so no, we can't do this because this is different. But we need a char origin position. Well, I do feel like some of this could be reused, though. Quite a lot of this could be reused. So, I think the way we're going to do this is... we will jump to this thing in here. But what we're going to do is we're going to set up some values in here for these to be to grab, basically. So we're going to take this value here, data X, data Y, and then do we need those values again? No, we don't. Okay. We do need the offset in Y, which we do have. Okay, that's good. So if I change this to and this to that, and then I can reuse these values, you see. So for bullets, it has to come in here and do this, but we can just jump straight into this routine. I should probably rename that. Check versus... Nah, that's alright. Well, we'll do it. I'll keep it the same. It's fine. So in theory, all we have to do now... The Y register will be set, so all we really have to do is... oh shit, we've only got screen point though. We need to convert that back into a char X and a char Y. Okay, so that might be in here. Yeah, destroy X and destroy Y, I believe. Okay, and they should be 0 page. Yes, alright. So now we take... do we need accumulator doing anything? No, because we're loading values in here. Okay, so... Actually, if we didn't do that at all, and instead we can just store it directly in that thing. So just do that, and then change this up here. It needs a 0 page, so they're not going to be too slow. I mean, it is going to be slower than doing it. One cycle slower than doing it with immediate mode, but for simplicity of kind of and byte saving, I think this is fine. It's again, this is only really because this is only happening when we actually destroy something. So. Right, okay, so what do we need to check? We need to check that the bullets are still working against Robotron entities, and that the mace is working against Robotron entities. This should be working. Why not write C++? C is compared to raw assembly, it's very inefficient for what we need it to do. It's fine for kind of machines with much more. What's it called? It's okay for machines with lots of memory and lots of overhead, but for the sort of stuff we're doing, it's just not good enough, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's the video of the CC. I can't remember what it was. I've seen a video of somebody doing this live. And there's definitely there's definitely ways of doing stuff in C for this, but it's just nowhere near as efficient as doing it bare metal like this. We just get much better performance, and it allows us to do things that you wouldn't be able to do this game in C at all. It'd be too small. There's far too many things that rely on tight timings and tight memory kind of things, so there's really no benefit for me to do this, and I actually can write assembly much better than I can write C anyway. So okay, so it's definitely exploding them, but problem is it's not getting rid of them, so that's probably down to some other settings somewhere. Can we shoot them still? No, we can't shoot them anymore either, so something is broken there. Okay, so let's have a look what's broken. So let's think about the bullets first, isn't it? Okay, so bullet wise, this should be working the same with the bullets, so I'm not sure why that would be the case. Okay, let's just undo a little bit of the changes here. And to be honest with you, I find C too much of a... if I'm going to code something in C, I'm not going to do it for the C64, I'm going to do it for something else. So, this has got enough kind of stuff in the macros to help you do stuff in a definitely more C-like way. But you're not at the mercy of the C compiler's kind of memory organization and stuff, and that's a biggie for these things. As I say, for some basic games, it's probably all right, but this has got so many things in it that rely on incredibly tight timings. It just wouldn't be efficient to do. I don't even think you'd be able to do some of this stuff. So yeah. But yeah, good question. I mean, it's a question we get asked probably once a month by somebody somewhere, and it's definitely a valid question. I completely understand why people might think that, but when you've done a lot of a C64 assembly, you find that the efficiency of C compiled assembly is just nowhere near what you can hand create. Lack of registers means C++. Yeah, exactly. You end up with lots and lots of stack access or overuse of memory. Things like unrolling loops when you need to unroll loops, moving loops in the right direction is something. Well, actually, you can move loops in any direction you want in C as well with the for loop, I guess. But the point is that you've got full control over how the code is optimized. And that's something that you don't get in C. You're at the mercy of the compiler, unfortunately. Saying that, there are there are C++ flavors for kickers for Mega 65, which seem to be. Can't work out if they're not iron, are they? And there's also a gap down here. Something's gone horribly wrong here. Let me figure this out before we carry on any further. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this stuff off. Let's just see if turning this off fixes it. Is it the fact that we're doing this that's causing the issue? Yeah, that's the problem. It's not going to be very efficient for C though. For the C64, you really do need every byte, and if you can't, what's failing here now? Or is it just me not compiling right, not building right? What might be, you might be able to write something which allocates things in a way that works fine for certain pieces of code, but then you find that actually you need to do something in a very specific way for something else, and then it all just kind of falls apart, or it uses too much memory, or it's too slow. So I would actually recommend, if somebody wanted to write C programs, C style programs for the C64, I'd recommend using something more suitable for the platform, that's kind of targeted at the platform. So something like TRSE or Milfork, which we've done stuff on before, which allows you to inline assembly as well, which I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do in C as well. But it does have stuff that's very specific to. Yeah, none of these are dying now. What have I done? It has stuff that's very specific to the machines. Oh my god, I've really broke these, haven't I? Hang on. Oh, I know why they're broken. I'm being stupid. It's just me being really dumb. Alright, this should work now. Let's put this all back. But yeah, and the other thing is as Andy says, this is I think it was Andy that said it. This is very much an assembly language stream, so Vina mentioned Parasol Stars work. Thank you, Beldrigus. I do intend on going back to that one day. Unfortunately, I don't know when that's going to be. I've got so many things I want to do, so many other platforms I want to look at. I would like to go back and finish that at some point. Maybe if I can get a good artist on board to help me, that would be great. But yeah, welcome along. Yeah, it is the right tool for the job. The thing is you are not going to get, the games like, Turok and Mayhem in Monsterland, stuff like that. You're not going to get stuff like that with C++. It's just not going to happen. You might get kind of smaller versions of them with some, some compromises being made, but you're not going to get the. And there's the Parasol Stars music. You're not going to get the. Like the massive maps of Turrican, or the kind of really precise timings in Mayhem to do things like VSP and stuff. I'm sure you could do VSP and C. I'm absolutely positive you could do it, but you would miss out on other stuff as well. Most C64 games run really tight against memory requirements, so you'll find like maybe a handful of bytes free in memory, and that's it. Whereas, I see now they're being hit, but they're not destroying. Okay, but we can shoot them now. Okay, that's good. So we just need to work out why they're not being removed. Okay, so this is good. So we don't need that either. So the only difference here is that when we shoot something with the bullet, we've got some other values that are used to destroy the entity. So, destroy entity uses these bullet values here as well. Okay, so what is this doing? This is taking... So we kind of need to set these values as well. Yeah, so this is us. This is what's essentially in ScreenPos at the moment. So I think we need to move these values into ScreenPos for the bullets. Okay, so kind of a little bit hacky around this, but it should work all right, I think. So it is very hacky, in fact, but this is going to work. It's fine. So let's call it non-bullet. It's not the first time I've done this in this code, because I am kind of reusing things, because I'm not really thinking too far ahead, and I really should be doing. But reusing something in Robotron is fine. It's not it's going to be used like 2 or 3 times in the game. It's really not going to be used all that often at all. So the only thing we need to do then, actually, non-bullet's probably not the right thing to do. So what we'll do is we'll do this here. Don't need that. So actually, that's going to work out all right, I think. Okay, let's try again. I'm glad we did it this way around now. It's always an interesting conversation. I do enjoy talking about those things. It's not an invalid question to ask at all. As I say, it's just for what I like to do. I would much rather be using was it ScreenPos? I don't think it was ScreenPos, was it? I'd much rather be using ScreenPoint. That was it. Damn it. I'd much rather be using assembly. It's like when I did the Game Boy game, I could have done it in C. There are, the game wasn't particularly heavy to on the processor or anything. I could have quite easily done that I could have quite easily done it in the Game Boy Toolkit or whatever, the Game Boy Game Maker, or whatever it's called. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do it in. I wanted to do it in assembly, even though I didn't enjoy the assembly in the end anyway. Oh, God's sake. Yes, you are, Beldingus, yeah. Right, I'm going to take a quick break, actually. I'm going to be a few minutes. Does that need to be colder? No, it should be fine. I'll be back in... Well, actually, no, let me quickly test this. And then we'll take a quick break. I definitely, if you are interested in doing C64 development and you don't want to use assembly, either because you don't want to learn it, you don't know it, or you're just interested in using a higher level language for it, definitely take a look at Milfork and take a look at TRSE. So one is kind of C-like in its structure, the other is like Pascal. There we go, perfect. Definitely good options for coding. We've seen some really good stuff come out of that with the competition that we did. Well, we ran 2 competitions, one for TRSE and one for Milfork. Some really good stuff. So definitely worthy of your time, and a bit more focused towards the 8-bit machines as well. So everything is kind of tailored for 8-bit home computers, whereas C is kind of meant as a more kind of broad spectrum of kind of platforms. This is kind of narrowly focused on those machines, so it's a bit easier to do stuff and a bit more efficient as well. It's still going to be inefficient compared to assembly, don't get me wrong. There, assembly is still always going to be the best tool for the job for the C64, but you will get slightly better memory management. Compiler kind of time allocations will be better for using those things. You'd like Milfort to support GBA? That would be good, actually. Actually, GBA. If I was to do a GBA game, that would probably be the one time I'd tip over towards C. I think, just because that was kind of the kind of start of C on handhelds. I think so. Looks like particles in the border. It's because that's a bug in the VIC chip, where if you change the border color, even if you change it from black to black, you'll get you'll get some slight spots in the border. Happens all the time. You can't get rid of that. It happens on the real machine as well. So that's why even if you just set a routine up on your machine to just change the border color to 0, store it, and then loop and just go round, you'll just see dots all over the border. All right, I shall be back in 5 minutes, guys. I'll be as quick as I can. Be right back. guessing Steps put this tune on. Alright, I'm back anyway. Let's crack on. Sorry, I just want to see who won that. Mayhem is the fastest one. That's why he wins all the time. Right, let's do player collision now. So player collision should be pretty easy now that we've got this set up. So when we check the player colliding with something, check maze. Oh, this is the maze trail. Oh, so we can pretty easily turn the maze trail back on as well. But it would be a JSR here, and then we turn this off. But we'll come back to that if the performance is good. We'll do that later. That's not an issue at the moment. All right, so we want collision. I don't think it's in here though. Actually, I think I've got a separate one for this here. Oh no, this is just grabbing. At this point, the player is involved in a collision, so we're checking against player stuff there. So we're not interested in that. So we're looking for the same collision that we were using against bullets, basically here, against the bullets from the player. So this is the control stuff. Let's just check through it. Problem is we get all the labels, including the other. Let's have a look. Collision, player, sprite collisions, check maze collisions, and collide. Okay, so it's not in that one. It's probably in the bullets, actually, where we're doing the collision. Because I think the bullets check themselves against the players, if I'm correct. Bullet has hit something. Data is player. Yeah, no, this is checking our bullets, unfortunately, so it's not that one either. God, my memory for where everything is in this is terrible. I would have thought it would have been in this, but it doesn't look like it is. So let's just have a look. Get blocked at position. That might be. No. So when the mace explodes, so when these explode, it's not them, is it? What is it? It's No, it is these, actually. I think it is these. So when these explode, they give off... Is it this one? Reduce hit points. Yeah, here we go. Add explosion. No. Persistence removed. There should be something which adds in the bullets from the mines, and then we can check where those are being collided against. So these are just our normal hit collisions, and this is force hit object. No, it's not that either, is it? Where is it? Is it this one? Entity. Yes, it's entity, isn't it? The entities. Explode entity. Add spikes 4-way. Here we go. Right, so there is... Oh, so it is bullets. We do add bullets. It's just, it has a flag to say whether it's a player or not. Okay, so bullets is the correct thing that we're looking at. Eight bullets. Okay, so here's where we move the bullets. We check against passable areas. So there's some collision checks that go on here to see if the bullets pass through certain areas. And then we check here if data is player. So if that's equal, we go to disable check. Done. Yes. But we're not checking against the... Where are we checking against the player, though? That's the thing. Yeah, maybe it is this. Maybe it is in the player, and I'm just... My brain's not working properly. In fact, I'm almost certain that's what's happening. Hiccups. Ah. Aha. Is our control. does get blocked at positions somehow. Maybe that actually returns a get blocked at position. No, it just returns whether or not we're blocked to that position. Okay. Kill player. Well, kill player would be a good place to look, I guess. Player dying, spawn player. Let's see what triggers kill player, because that's going to be the one. Check player is in an explosion. So that's just if we're close to something. That's the laser. Pickups, here we go. So it looks like if we hit something, it works out what we've hit here, whether we should pick it up or whether it's a bullet or not. So in that case, let's just do an increment here and see if this flashes when we move over the things. And let me turn the mace off. So it's 976. So let me turn the mace off. I'm kind of looking forward to Saturday actually and doing the well, for two reasons. One, I'm excited to listen to all the tunes. I've listened to little bits. The other thing I had to do was, oh damn it, is listen to enough that I could recognise the tune if I wasn't given the name of the tune, which I wasn't in all cases. Okay, so they're not being registered as collisions. It's stopping me from moving, but they're not being registered as collisions. And I think the reason for that is because in here, in this check here, we jump down to this point here if this routine fails, basically. So I think what we also need to do at this point then is, if we are in the Robotron screen, so at this point here, we need to perform a check on this value that's in this location here. Load accumulator, collision lookup, Y. So we've got the Y register that hasn't changed throughout here. I think the easiest way to do this. Maybe here actually, because this is looking through all the characters in the table. So let's do get collision lookup. Okay, so collision lookup is this one here, which sets our collision char X, our collision char Y, and sets collision lookup. So this is good. That means we're grabbing that value there. All right. So what we'll do is we'll we can just do it directly in here. So we're just going to grab is Robotron screen, and if it's not, we're just going to jump ahead to there. Otherwise, we can go ahead and do check versus player. So that means in here we just need to check a few minor things and then set some stuff up. So screen point needs to be set in order to grab that. So, but what we can first of all do is we can load Y with 0, and we can load collision point, Y, and then we need to do this same check here. So if it's any of these, then we've hit it. If it's not, then we return. So if I put the border increment in here this time, we should see that. And if I go back and remove, I can't remember where the border increment was now. Where did I get rid of the other border increment? I feel like I didn't. Yes, there it is. And then once we've got this working, we can look at making the nice little spawn animation, which is just creating a little queue system for enemies. So there'll be 2 queue systems. There will be enemies currently that need to spawn. So there'll be a list of a counter basically on how many need to spawn. For now, it will just be a single counter and we'll spawn the same enemy item all the time. Is that wrong? And there'll also be a rounds counter as well. So there'll be a list of how many spawn in each round, and when one counter is down, it advances to the next round, fills the queue, the spawn queue with the new number, and does that. So on this Robotron screen, there's a total of 36 enemies, 3 rounds of 2. When you've killed one round, the next round spawns, and so on. So hopefully now we should get border flashes, and we're not getting border flashes. Okay. So, first of all, are we even getting to this point? Let's put a breakpoint in here and see if that actually activates or not. Python banned at my... No, I will use Python if I have to, but I'll try and avoid using it if I can. But sometimes it is the right tool for the job, so it's not always that straightforward. Okay, so the first thing I notice is that this is triggering all the time, and I don't think it's because I'm touching anything here. But let's get through this screen if I can, see if it stops. Come on. Because the accumulator is saying 0, so we're definitely getting to that screen. Right, so hopefully these will all move towards me now. And then as they approach me, they should trigger that accumulator to be easier. Come on. Come on, there we go. Right, so one's on me now. Well, I'm not seeing a value in the accumulator here, so the get collision point thing is not working for us in that case. So in that situation, we need to change things a little bit. Get collision lookup. So where is this actually looking? This is looking probably on the center of the character rather than all around it. So this is tricky now. I have to think a little bit. Oh my god, how many windows have I got open there? So it's not picking them all up, unfortunately. I think even if I advance, it's not gonna allow me to see any more. Now, the annoying thing is if I was to try and move, it would perform the collision check and fail because I'm being stopped by this. The other option is to think about this from a different direction. So, at the moment, we are checking the player against all of the Robotron things. But what we could do instead is if the Robotron no longer has anywhere to move, in other words, if its target is now at 0-0, in other words, it's at the place it's aiming to go for, then that means we've hit the player. So it might be better to go the other way instead. So instead of checking the player against the Robotrons, is check the Robotrons have reached the player. So let's go that way instead, which means we can get rid of this check here instead. Okay, so in that case, we want to go into here and we want to take a look at the not the check versus bullet. There's an update routine in here. Update entity position here. So I think it's this dx and dy. If the dx and dy are both 0, that means we no longer need to move in any direction. So the way I'm going to do this actually is I'm going to go and take a look at this this array here. So we're going to look at these values here. So I'm just going to put a little marker in here. Close all of these windows down, and we're going to go and take a look at dx and dy when they approach. So I need to find where that is. 8882. Okay, so let's do it in the debugger. It's a bit easier to see in the debugger, I think. Oh, let's hide that. Actually, let me move that up to here. You can't see it because it had the SID challenge in there. It's not ideal. Okay, so A882 we're looking for, so let me bring that up on here. Oh, no, I've hit the wrong thing, damn it. Second. That's this. Okay, so this is our location that we're looking at. There are... how many maximum do we have in here? I think it's 16. I hope it's 16 because that would be a nice round number. Max Robotron entry is 16. Nice. Alright, cool. Let's get rid of that. Let's load up the... Oh, it seemed like that didn't kill me, and it should have done. Let me just check that again. That should kill me, and if it doesn't, that means we've broken something else. Oh, it does kill me. I think I just got lucky for some reason. I say, so all the Robotron items have deltas that appear in here. And you can see now they're all piled up. So this second one here has a 0, but it also has a 0 down here. This one has a 0 and this one has a 0. So there should be 2 touch me at the moment. This one has a 0, but it has FF here, so it's a negative value. So I think that's probably enough to check. Because if I put... Actually, what happens if I try and move out of here? And then pause. Right. So now they've all got value. You can see they've all got values in here. So if I resume, as soon as one hits me, that should be enough to explode me. Though it's not hit me completely there, so now it has. Oh, but it moves through you. Ah, that's interesting. But there is a blank here and there's a blank here. Interesting that they can move through the back of me. Let's try that again. They definitely block easy that way. But this way they seem to move through me, which is going to be a bit of a problem. And that's probably because the target that they're aiming for is in the wrong place. So we might need to offset the target a bit. So let's try and do that first before we move any further. So let's take a look at let's have a look at the movement routine. So where's our target? Nuclear entity delta. So this is what we want to do. We want to check. So let's go and find that. It should be down here somewhere. There we go. Player center X. Okay, so we are actually comparing it against the player center, but I don't think that's right. I don't think it's correct at all. Certainly when it's going backwards, it seems off a little bit. So I wonder if I'm accidentally not setting this value here. And it's this, isn't it? Because that should be a clear, because I've got the carry set here. So okay. Not setting my flags. Cat's urine glows under a black... I think everybody's urine glows under a black light, doesn't it? I think that's kind of one of the reasons they use black lights to, you know, for cleaning and stuff. You can see where all the shit is. I think most bodily fluids, I think, from most animals glow under a black light. What's more interesting, and this was something I think was on the Veritasium channel, is that scorpions glow under a black light. Jizz does, allegedly. Well, we all know it does because all the comedy shows and cop shows always mention that. But scorpions glow under a black light as well, which is, I think, a bit more interesting. Okay, so let's see. So they move up to me. Let's go down. Kind of threw me there. Let's go up. Threw me there as well. Oh, bit of a bug there. It's better. But they do move through, which is a bit frustrating. And there's a bug as well. I don't know what's causing that. So do bras in a night. Okay, so while I think that was right, it's still not perfect. Let's just reload that in here. Which means we've probably moved those tables along a little bit. Oh no, actually, oh yeah, we will have done because it's in the same place. Oh no, oh, it's at the beginning of the file though, so it's fine. So, I mean, this would work, but it would feel like the delay between them actually hitting you, there'd be a little bit of leniency for them hitting you. In fact, they're still moving through, though. That's the thing. I don't think the center position is exactly where it thinks it is. Yeah, I mean, that's right. Let's have a look. If I line up dead on center, actually, they kind of are working. But then look, if they do for some reason stop on me, they cause a glitch as well. So we need to figure out what that glitch is. Stopped on me again there. I can't shoot though now. So what is causing these glitches? That's one thing we need to know. Which could just be because of these. I feel like the clear carry should be right here, but maybe that's causing issues. Let's have a look at what it's doing. Okay, so we do actually there's no comparison here, but we do subtract a value from it. Oh, actually, no, the carry would be cleared automatically. Well, actually, then that wouldn't matter. That shouldn't be there. Huh. So what is causing that to not be correct all the time? I feel like maybe we need to draw something in this location so we can check it. To see, yeah, I think we need to figure out where this is, where this player center X and Y is. So let's go and find where that's created. Because we need this to be accurate, so... Right, that's created here. Which seems to be in the control system. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a character that we can display and we can move over. So we can move over these numbers. These shouldn't cause any collision at all. So I'm just going to put a number down where we are and see if it does draw it in the middle of us. So D0, okay. So it's using the get collision lookup. So let's have a look. Get collision lookup. Actually, is it using that or is it adding that value to it? Oh no, it is adding a value to it. See, why is it subtracting 1 from the X and adding 1 to the Y? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, fine. What we'll do is we'll put a debug section in here. This is literally just for debugging. We'll remove this when we're done. I'm going to load tables, screen, row LSB, comma Y. I'm going to load Y with... some temporary thing. CSG temp 6. Add. No, put that value E0. But I just want to see where this is appearing. Is it appearing in the middle of the... Oh, it's actually going to be hard to see because... Oh, well... I mean, it's just not drawing in the right place at all. What have I done wrong here? He's drinking them all, but whatever. I've got a bottle of wine for Saturday. I thought I'd do a... Ah, yeah, see, look where it's putting it. It's not in the middle. It's kind of off to one side. Oh, and it does stop us. We do get a collision problem there. Alright, let me just... pick a different character. Fin just tested at Amiga Live. Oh yeah, I did pick server list as well. I don't know why it's not working. I will look into it in some more detail at some point. Just for now, it's definitely not working. So. Right, I'm going to try just dropping one of these. I know I'm probably going to end up picking it up all the time, but hopefully it will show. So even if it flashes like crazy, at least I can see something. It must be a firewall thing. Download, install, run. Yeah, maybe send me a link to the version that you downloaded. Maybe I've downloaded an old version, but I thought I downloaded it from the Amiga Live site. So, oh, it doesn't. All right. Because they're not classed as items yet, and I can see it's kind of off center. So if I come in here and I move around back, they should kind of move into that. Shit, I've trapped myself. Put in here with the latest features from April. Yeah, I think that's the one I've got as well. I'll do another check tomorrow if I find time. I've got quite a lot of stuff I need to do before the weekend though, so whether or not I get the chance to do it might be another thing. All right, so wait, why is it not drawing them there? I need to reopen it. Maybe I need to reopen it. If you have local, yeah, I definitely don't have local games selected, because that was one of the first things I was doing, was just checking that I actually had the right kind of game set up listed. Oh no, they do move to where the character is, so that's good. Or just before it. Or they go really... That's the weird thing, that they go right past it. So I think... Yeah, I'm sure it's a small thing. I'm sure we'll figure it out. It's going to be a network thing. I'm positive. Okay, so... Oh, you've worked out what the theme is now. I think you kind of knew it now, so already. So, it's a shame, because the option of kind of doing it like this would definitely be preferable. But if it's not going to be enough to, let's get rid of that. Let's go and have a look at the Robotron data and see what we've actually got in here. So we've got screen location, it's char X, char Y, which is in a strange range as well. And then we've got DX, DY, which gives us the... Well, let's put it in. Let's put this method in and see what happens. It might look all right. It might look terrible. We can play it through a few times and see what happens. So we need update entity data, which is here somewhere. This one here. So if either of these at this point here, so if I take take that value, or it with that value, and if that's not equal to 0, then we can skip ahead. That's fine. Whereas if it is equal to 0, then we've hit something. Our player's been hit. So let's just see if that works for now. I can't remember if or comma out. Yeah, it does work. Okay, that's good. This might be one I have to have a bit of a think about. See how it's only when they stop moving. Which means you do... Nah, see, it's not going to work. It's way too much time. And also, look at what it does. There's something weird going on with the updates. I wonder if it's... No, it shouldn't be anything in there. Update entity position. See what caused this thing. Need to fix that bug, I think. Yeah, it doesn't rely on anything in there, so it's fine if this is doing something. So what would be causing it to draw like that? When they move, BD's running out. Yeah, we've got 85 left, but they'll go pretty soon. I think I might have to limit the number you can discover on a stream just to slow it down a little bit. But please, if you've got some background series you want adding, let me know, and I'll definitely stick them in there. I'm so busy at the moment with everything I'm doing that there's always something I forget to do in 1 week, so I'll try and come up with some, but I'm not promising I can manage it in time. Right, let's just turn all that off. Let's just see if I can get them to bug out again. And let's have a think why they might be bugging out. And in the meantime, I'll have a think about how to deal with the collision. If it wasn't for the particles, I could just do background sprite collision. But the thing is, the particles are going to get in the way of that, and they're going to cause so many false positives that it's going to start being an issue. So go into me like that, and I'm stuck. All right. Problem with that is I get stuck a lot, so let's do it in the debugger. It's easier to do it in the debugger because I can restart it quicker. Oh, Andy. You have people just trying to guess dog names. You're just mean. You're meanie. So let them gather up on me. Okay, fine. Let's let them gather up on me over here. It's just an occasional glitch. That's the annoying thing. It's going to be so hard to replicate. And now I've taken some of those extra steps out, they don't seem to be causing problems anymore. I wonder if it's to do with... Oh no, there we go. There's one. I think they're not being cleared properly. I think the clear routine's not working properly. Because once something else draws over the top, it's fine. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Really not sure. I'm trying to think of a good way to do this. I'm really not sure at all. I mean, another way would be to take all the positions and the player center and do some subtractions and work it out. But I think the problem is we're trying to use character space to determine whether or not we've collided with something which is in sprite space. And the thing is that while yes, there is a center character where I am here, there's not. If you line up the right position, you can get a place where, like that, where there isn't really a center character. But the fact that they move into weird positions is what gets me here. For me, anything that falls within that sprite rectangle should be counted. But we can't do that because we can't use hardware to do that because we've got particles everywhere as well. So I think what we probably need to do is still do it from the Robotron side, but convert the character positions into sprite positions and then do a bounding box check. I think that's going to be the only way we can do it, which is going to be slow as hell. And there we've got another bug over there again. So annoying. I thought we'd kind of solved all of those, but apparently not. Okay, well, we'll come back to that later. Let's try and see how long it takes to do this extra collision here. So we update an entity here, and we get a char X and a char Y position. Now, the char X and the char Y position is actually in a weird format. So you can see up here, it's actually they're stored at 4 times the value, and this is to give us this gives us a kind of a midway point as well. This allows us to move them partially through squares as well. So we can kind of use that in a way, because 4 times the value is almost sprite space, right? If we double it again, we get sprite space if we add the borders on. So what we can do is we can take these values as they come in, and we can kind of update them a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll check against the half sprite values, which means these values are actually correct. They just need the borders added on. So we'll do that in entity check down here. Okay, so what we'll do, let's write a little note to say what we're going to do at the top here. So, have I got a bloody... Yeah. Okay, so check char X and char Y with added... Actually, no, we don't even need to add the border. We'll go the other way. Versus screen minus borders. Space. So we're going to go the other way versus half screen sprite space. So instead, what we're going to do, instead of grabbing the values char X and char Y and changing them, we're going to grab the values of the sprite, the position of the sprite, and change that instead. So I think we've already got player X and player Y in here, so we already know those values. But is player X and player Y in sprite space, screen sprite space, let's find out. So let's find out where it's being used first. Spawn player. Okay, it looks like it's just directly in sprite space. Okay, so in that case, what we need to do is we need to take player X and player Y and do some adjustments on them. So, okay, so player X is going to be in fractional, integer, most significant byte, least significant byte, most significant byte. So we're just interested in these top two. We'll ignore the fractional values. We don't need those. So we're going to grab, first of all, we're going to grab the most significant byte, and we're going to shift that to the right. We're going to basically half it. In doing so, we will set the carry flag if it's set, in which case we can just grab this value, and then we could roll that. So now we have a half X value. And then we do the same for player Y. +1. We're not interested in the MSB. There is no MSB, and we're not interested in the fractional value. We just shift that and store that. So now we've got half X and half Y values. Don't know where those are going to be. We'll have to make some variables for those in a minute. But now we need to check them against the char X and char Y. And what we're looking for here is... in fact, don't we have... Yes, we do. We have this routine here. But this is going to be way too much in terms of sprite bands. shit, we're going to have to copy this, aren't we, unfortunately. Okay, that's fine. Let's just copy that, drop it in, and then work on it here. This is just like so much extra check to do on every entity. This is quite frustrating, in fact. This is probably going to slow it down a lot, so I'm just wondering if we can stagger these checks. So we might have to stagger these a little bit, but for now let's just put them in and do the rest later. I think it will be staggered, thinking about it. Okay, so the skip is here. This is what we do when we've finished. We'll deal with the glide in a minute. We've got half X, we've got half Y, and that is going to be... Right, what have we got here? We've got Y pos and a half X pos. Oh, we're just using Y pos. Alright, we don't need the half Y. Oh, but then we've got this, so we do need to check it against half Y. Ugh, okay. Right, well, we can put some hard-coded values in here. We've got some values in here for sprite bounds. We should have. Why are they not in here? In the other file, so maybe they're in the other file, so that's fine. Because we'd still either have to double that or half this, because we need to get them in the same kind of same range, same kind of scale, basically. Do we include borders here? No, that's a good point, actually. Let's have a look in here. Do we do border addition? No, because we're doing sprite to sprite collision here. So we actually need to remove borders from these values as well. I think is the best way of doing this. Okay, so before we store that value, it's the X border, so we've divided it by 2, so this is this is 4 times this is the half sprite space. So the border is 24 wide, so we need to subtract 12 from this. This is becoming a lot bigger than I wanted it to be. Oh, that's the wrong place. And then from the top is 50 in height, so we need to subtract 25 from this one. Okay. Right, in that case we now can take our positions, which is half X and half Y here. Y pos. Yeah, alright, so let's make this the half X. Oh wait, no, half Y, and this is the half X. Okay, so now we've got half X, and here we can take the value data char X comma X, char Y, sorry. Yeah. Okay, cool. And we compare that against sprite bounds height. Let's just put 16 in there. We'll come back and change this in a minute if we need to. Collide vertically, add. I have no idea why that is like that, and that's not Nick's case. That's not Nick's base. Not sure why this is like it is, but I'm not going to argue with it because this is working for other collisions. So, what's a good number of images for a fun series? 10, I'd say, is probably the normal amount. 20 is probably okay. 40 is a lot. 80 or whatever you had in that other one is insane. But yeah, I'd say between 10 and 20 is probably a good target to go for. Okay, let's stick that in there. Gyrate's come at X, yeah. Now, this is actually already, this is trying to half the value here, so we don't need to do that because it's already halved in that. And I feel like these are probably the wrong way around, these things, but we'll check again in a minute. So we'll go with the width again, and we'll do same here. Okay, so I mean, it's a lot of extra stuff here, but firstly, I hope it runs. Which it doesn't. There's something wrong here. Player X not present on label value. Player underscore X, that's why. Wait, why was that? Wait, player underscore X. No, ran. Yep. Okay, that built correctly. 80s redeem, yeah. Yeah, 10 to 20 is probably the best amount. As Step says, when you get to 80, it's just everything's redeemed. But that in itself is kind of funny as well. I kind of like that they're not always that obvious. But the idea is that you are supposed to be guessing them, and I think kind of people just aren't really guessing the big ones. So yeah, 10 to 20, I would say. I mean, you can do one with 6 in if you really want to. It's not a problem to do it with that many in. See, no, now we're picking up as too soon now. Okay, let me try swapping these, because I have a feeling these values should probably be the other way around. So I'm going to put that here and put that here instead. I'm not sure how much of a difference this will make, if any. But it's worth trying. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else weird in the char X, char Y that would be from. I don't think so, because I think the whole point of that char X, char Y thing was that the value is. See, they're picking up way too early now. Like, if I get away from them. Maybe I can just reduce the value. Well, one thing is we're checking sprite bounds based on half values, and I'm actually putting full values in here, so let's half these values as well. It doesn't seem like it's that bad, actually. I think because we are staggering the updates as well, aren't we? So the fact that the updates are staggering means that this is actually working out all right. Performance doesn't seem that bad. Still a little bit early on one side though, so if I come on this side, they have to actually be almost in meter. But on this side, they trigger very early. Okay, so I think that means we can probably simplify this a little bit. So start with the horizontal, right? So if we take the half Y and we compare it to 8, so if it's less than 8, we've collided. No, if... Yeah, okay. So in that case, let's just remove that bit and see what happens. So we're looking at horizontal only now. Because the other thing we've got to bear in mind as well is that the sprite targets are not 8x8. you know, the characters that we're moving around are not 16 by 16. The thing that we're moving around here now is 8 by 8, not 16 by 16. So, oh shit, I'm gonna get trapped, aren't I? There we go. Let's go that way. See, it doesn't trigger that way at all. Okay, so I think it does need this side in. So let's have a think about this. The half Y is our sprite, right? So we take our sprite's position and we subtract the character position. So if the character is less than that, then actually this is the character bound height. And this is actually character bound width here, not height. Oh no. Wait, why is it doing... Oh, we're doing Y here, aren't we? Hang on. We're doing Y, not... Let me check the Y position. Let me close all of them. So let's have a think about this. So vertically, so if it's above us, and we've got our sprite position, and we subtract the character position, then that value should be less than 4 if we've collided. If it's ahead of us, then the difference needs to be less than... Wait, hang on, is this going to be add 8, right? Okay, so we take our sprite value again. We subtract that, so now we're on like minus... So if we collided, we would be less than minus 16. So if we add minus 16, well, minus 8, sorry. So if we add 7, and it's still less, yeah, okay. So this should be right in that terms. Okay, so let's do the same on this side. The Apple Newton. Simpson says. It's such a failure, the Apple Newton, that even Simpsons took the piss out of it. Okay, that's looking a lot better actually. Let's try that in a few different scenarios. Let's try this in the debugger, just a little bit easier to depict. It must have been a good flop, yeah. I do kind of want one of them. I do kind of want one just because it's a kind of weird oddity, and it's kind of the sort of thing I like. So I can look past it being an Apple product because it's just it's a strange oddity of stuff. Yeah, I know they're very expensive. That's the problem. Actually, this might work. This looks like it might work now. Yes, I think it does. Okay, let's go ahead and see what happens if we kill the player here then. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to get weird things happen when the player dies, because things are still going to try and want to move around the screen. So we might have to just do a little check at the beginning of the update function to say don't move if there's no player to move towards. Okay, I mean, it didn't explode, right? It was... Wow, okay. Jesus, that's hard. Right, let's try actually shooting them this time. Yeah, I think it's because we've got limited particles on this screen, so we're not really seeing anything. So we might have to add... I think I'm gonna just because we don't have the same visual explosion that we get on the PC version, I'm gonna actually add in one of those one of the big explosions that we get on the barrels and stuff. So I think we had a routine for that somewhere. Where did I just type that? Yeah, down there. All right. Because I think without a bigger explosion, it kind of looks a bit weird, especially on screens when we've got very few particles available because of the optimization and dynamic, well, not dynamic optimization. Well, it is kind of optimization, I guess. So what we're going to grab, we can grab player center X and player center Y, can't we? Guess they're going to be on the player, they're not in the 0 page, are they? Oh no, they are in 0 page, okay. So this is just going to kind of spruce up the player depth as well, so it looks a bit more than what we see at the moment, which is just kind of 2 or 3 particles appear, because we hit a particle limit on this screen because we've got the dynamic optimization turned on. So see, on that screen we get lots and lots of kind of explosion going off. You can see lots of particles, but on this screen it doesn't happen. But actually that shouldn't be here, this should be in kill player. So it should be the same all the time, so... Wait, where is the... Do we not get a particle list? Player dying? Oh, is it I'm just running the wrong routine here, maybe? Wait. Game loop. Is it just because we've hit I think it's because we've hit the particle limit. Or is it just so unperformant now because of those checks that it's... Alright, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to go and put that code for the explosion because I think it's nice to add that in anyway. So we'll do that. Say here. So this is just going to add our little player explosion in here. But I also want to, in the Robotron thing here, if the player is dying, which there is a check for, this one here, which I'm guessing is in here somewhere, yep, okay, then we don't do any of the updates, so we don't do any of this stuff. Oops. Okay, let's try. I'm using Newton every day as a paperweight. What's that? What's that background? Oh, foie gras. It was just the Apple Newton was just the wrong time for it. The technology wasn't good enough back then. They were trying to be clever and do something which probably should have worked, but I don't know why I'm not getting proper particle explosions there. It's really weird. Let me turn on the. Let me see if it is to do with the the optimization on that screen. Maybe if I just turn the number of particles up, it'll work. Because if that is the case, then I'll probably just leave it. Well, actually, no, because we can customize each screen, so it makes sense to do that. Where's our screen data? Where's our screen? Maps. There we go. Screens. I think it's screen 20, isn't it? Yeah, screen 20. Dynamic. Set performance. Yeah, see that we've got particles set to 12. It's particles, isn't it, the first one? Pretty sure it is. Wish I could just jump straight to that. Screen macros. Sprites part, no, the second. Oh, 10 particles. Wow. Okay, no wonder that screen is running slow. They're running badly. Oh, it looks bad. Let's take a look at that. That should be better. So it's sprites particles. Okay. 10 particles was not a lot. No wonder it wasn't looking great. Yeah, we do miss some particles at the top. But now we properly explode. But you can see when I move up to the top. Look, oh, damn it. When I move up to the top, some issues. But at least now we die, so that's good. Like, we die with a bit more oomph. But you can see the part of the exhaust particles are just missing at the top now. Oh, shit. It's actually pretty damn hard to... Right, let's try and kill things in that screen then. So the particles are there. It's just when there's a lot of stuff on the screen they disappear. But also the decals seem to be missing in this room for some reason. I need to check that. I need to make sure that's in a book as well. Have we ruined the decals? Let's do a little bit of playing around now just to see if... Oh my god, bring back the joke bot. Aquafin's jokes, man. Oh, the decals have stopped now. Oh no, they haven't. Okay, we're definitely running into timing issues. As you can see, no decals. Or very flickery decals, then decals. So decals are obviously the last thing to be drawn. It's not a huge loss, but I think we definitely need to do some timing stuff at some point. Go through a few of these routines and see what we can optimize. Maybe that's one for the next stream, I guess. We also need a little bit of kind of invincibility time, I guess, at the beginning, because we just die immediately to these things. Like, if one of them hits me, that's it. Every time I spawn, I die. So if I don't move, spawn, die. So I need to look at that as well. So that's going to be... There's a few things we need to do then, but I think optimization might have to be what we do on the next stream, so we can figure out how to optimize a little bit further. Because we are starting to lose decals on screens like this, which actually don't have an awful lot going on. I mean, obviously there's these checks of the mines down here. I mean, let's have a look, right? If I'm up here, no decals, still no decals, alright. And then if I come to here, then they start appearing. Okay, so now if I just blow these mines up without dying. But there's less mines to check. Okay, so there's less mines now, so decals there, decals there. Okay, so decals all the way up the wall to this point. So it improves depending on the mine. So we could stagger mine updates out. What else might be causing this here? How long streaming for? No game after. I'm only going to do the games on Saturday because I'm always very tired, so I'm going to keep that to Saturdays. And I'm going to stream till past, so about another 25 minutes or so. We'll game on Tuesday, of course. Still, but I think you knew that anyway, Activifin. And I just poured drink down my top because I was leaning far too far back and seemed to not know where my mouth is. Sarcasm bad. Okay, so definitely need an optimization pass. I think what I might do is have a little play through the game and make some notes about a few things, like what happens on a respawn on the Robotron screen. If I stay in this position on the Robotron screen, then I'm obviously going to respawn in that position. But what does that do on the real game? Do I get an invulnerability kind of period? It probably doesn't even need to be that long. A couple of seconds at most. You know, maybe 1 or 2 seconds. But it definitely needs something so you can move out of the way. Or does the screen reset? These are the sort of things we need to figure out. So I'm not going to worry too much about the spawning mechanism for now. I'll do that on the next stream, I think. There was a bug there that mine over that side activated for some reason. Trying to think optimization wise, what can we do? The reason why we need optimization is because we've got a lot of loops which check a lot of things. So like these mines down here are being checked all the time. But let's have a quick look and see if we can figure out how to fix that. So you can see the decals kind of half work and half don't. Fire one bullet, it's fine. And it's because of the positions of the rasters that are doing these things. Now, I can reduce the sprite multiplexer down a little bit because that's not being effective. In fact, let's do that now. Let's just mess around with some of the constants that we've got. So, where is it? Here. All right. So maximum multiplex sprites at the moment is set to 20. Let's reduce that down to 16. It's probably still enough for most things anyway. Let's set the particles down to 48. And we've already got this on the minimum amount. 3 times before particles, that's fine. Okay. Let's knock the exhaust particles down by 1. And the laser particles down by 1. Maximum bullets, I think we probably need to leave the same. Maximum items. So 48 items at the moment. I'm going to change that to 32. I think 48 was a bit generous. Max explosions, let's put that on 8 instead. Max entities. This I don't want to mess with this until we've done the map. I think if anything this might need to be raised. Max Robotron entities. Alright, let's just try save those. Why did I close it there as well? Let's see if that kind of improves things a little bit. Because it could just be that we need to set the performance for every screen specifically to get the best kind of the best view out of it. And that's the cool thing about the dynamic performance, is that we can do that. See, it hasn't really taken anything away. The exhaust is still working. But now we do have decals working much higher up the list. Now let's destroy some of these mines and see again if that fixes things. Because if the mine updates can be staggered, then screens like this will be much better off. But see, look, Now the decals aren't working again. That makes no sense. Maybe there's something else going on. Oh, and a CPU jam. Well, that's a different one. Oh, wow. Okay. Why would it be CPU jamming here of all places? Decals. There's a bug in the decals. There's a bug in the decals. Alright. Let's take a look at what's going on. Decals. So where was it said? 5E69. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so it looks like what we've got is some self-mod code that's overwriting that, I think. Yeah. I think what's happened is it's still writing past the end. Okay. So if we look in decals, let's have a look. So fill max decals, yeah, max decals we changed. So I think that is what's the problem. It's now on 8. And it was on that before, wasn't it? So let's just take a look. So it's overwriting. What was it? It's overriding past this area here, so on the add decal. So it's writing all the way past this actually as well. Ah, reset. It's data minus data. Oh no, that just resets that data. Okay, that's good. Something's writing all the way past all of this. So something that writes into these values here is leaking over. So I don't even think it's self-mod. I think there's some kind of loop check that's failing here. Add decal. Next in it. So this looks fine. This looks to be correctly incrementing the decal indexes. So let's take a quick look at what the next index says in here. So that would be 5E2E. E2E. Okay, the decal says number 1, but we're definitely seeing. I mean, it should be 32. So yeah, it shouldn't be much more past here, but for some reason it seems to be writing beyond that point. So we've got here, so it shouldn't be going past this line here. Oh, well, it isn't going back. No, sorry, it shouldn't be going past this line, but it does seem to be. Did I save that file? Maybe I didn't save it correctly. No, I did. Interesting. It's not even self-mod, it's something is not correctly finding the end of this list. Something is making this next index go way too far. Alright, let's just run it again and see what happens. Oh wait, is there an update? Draw decals, clear decals. Max decals -1. Update decals, max decals -1. No, that should be right as well. All of these are using the right values. We do have this clear decals, which is using a screen lookup, but again, should be fine if the decals are there. It's not the fact that it's writing to the screen, it's the fact that it's writing through this piece of code here, which means when we go to add a new one in, this is failing. This is hitting jam. So let's see, if we can get it to crash again, then we can put it in the debugger and see what writes to that area. So put a breakpoint in. That'll be the last action of the night, I think. Thank you for the follow, Yoshka. I don't know why I didn't hear. Oh, it's just very delayed. That was weird. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. I don't know why the alert did not trigger properly, but it got there in the end anyway. So thank you, welcome to the stream, hope you're doing well. So we're just in the process of debugging some performance issues, and I've noticed a crash happening. I'm just trying to figure out why. So I'm just going to try and replicate the same thing that I did before, which is to kill all of these. And then I went up here, and then suddenly it wasn't working. I came down here and I was shooting around. And there we go. Okay, so it does crash again at that point. Okay, so let me just have a look. 5E to E. Again, it has written way past the end of the decal list for some reason. Okay, so I have no idea why it would be doing that. I can only assume it's to do with the... well, no, it can't be the reset because it's clearing over that. It's got to be... It's got to be the clear up somewhere. Maybe it's just... I don't know. Anyway, what we can do is we can put a breakpoint in. So anytime that some code is written to a location beyond the end of here, we can break on it. So let's load it up. Let's we have to actually get into the game, and then we'll set. So I'm going to die first because it's going to... Yeah, all right. But now if we do, if we go and have a look at that location, so if we jump to 5E to E, so this is our location, and anything past the end of here, so anything in this area here should not be written to. So we're breaking at this point here, but let's put a breakpoint on 5E60. That should be enough to pick up the issues. So I'm going to turn the memory breakpoints on. We want 5E60, and anything more than or equal to 0. In other words, anytime we're going to write anything to that location, it should break. So now I just need to kind of replicate the system again, which means I need to go up here, shoot all these. And we've hit a jam before. God, where have we jammed this time? What is this? This looks like some crazy unrolled loop. What the hell is that? That's massively unrolled loop. Alright, well, we've got some stuff to work on the next stream anyway. This is particles. Ah, okay, right. Let's just step through. Not seeing anything. Unfortunately, it's not great not having the source code in place for this. Right. Go back, like, I want to go back the smallest of fractions here. No, it's just stuck there. I don't know why it's launched into that area. This was all working, and then I changed some constants. So maybe if I put the constants back, probably the problem is I think I closed the frame down, didn't I? Okay, so we know it's particles causing some issues now. So let me just turn those off. Put the decals back and see if this fixes things. but we've got some areas to mess around with next time. So I think next time, instead of finishing off the Robotron area, we're going to do a little bit more optimization. It's getting kind of fairly critical now to look at these things. And while the screens that we have represent probably the majority of the oh, I shouldn't have come in here really. Represent the majority of the kind of difficult screens. We are gonna need better performance for some of the newer screens as well. There aren't many screens actually that are left which are going to be heavy on any more heavy than we've already got on performance. So that's good to know at least. Oh, that's frustrating. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night there. So obviously changing the decals and particle values for some reason causes some issues. I'm going to see if there's any of these. I'll just have a quick look before I finish. See if these max particles are used anywhere else. So map load is fine. Particles are fine. Constants. Okay. That's not that, is it? Alright. What's the other on decals? Decals is using decals and there. All right. Well, we'll take a look at that next time. Yeah, no gaming tonight. No, I'm saving the gaming for Saturdays and Tuesdays for the multiplayer stuff. I'm just too tired. I can't sleep if I game as well. I start thinking about that. It's already hard enough for me to sleep after doing this till 12:30. But let's go and find someone to raid. Let's use around. Let's have a look. Chalk's on, Noodles on, Tonda's on. Let's raid Chalk. Not raided Chalk for a couple of days. It's been Tonda the last few times. I'd like to see what Chalk's up to. It looks like he's doing Mario again, I think. It's on pause, so I assume it's probably on a break. Yeah, he's doing these Mario 2 speedruns by the looks of things. Well, let's go and raid him. Let's give him a surprise when he comes back. So, cool. Alright, so we were doing Luna 65 on Saturday. I will do my best to get some preparation in place for it, but I'm not going to have a lot of time, unfortunately, because I'm out on Saturday as well. Which is another reason, if you have got music that you want to submit to the competition, if you can do it tomorrow, that would be better than on Saturday. Because if you do it on Saturday, it's just gonna have to be left until a few seconds before the stream starts, which means it might be a problem. But yeah, other than that, I shall see you all on Saturday. Thank you very much for all the bits and gift subs tonight and all the resubs. Thanks for all the new guys, all the follows that have come along. Hopefully we'll see more of you on the future streams, and take care everybody. Have a nice weekend up till Saturday night, at which point I will ruin it by getting drunk and slurring all night at you. Take care guys, bye.